everybody. Welcome to another episode of Morelia Python Radio. And tonight is episode number 511. 511. We are celebrating our 10-year anniversary. A little late, but here we are. But I am joined by my co-host, NPR Sil Dante, the Tom Hagen, the Ed McMahon, often imitated but never duplicated, the secret squasher, the progeny of Jim from Morgantown.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yes,
thank you. That is my official title. It's what it says on my the dressing room door, and all that. Yeah. So, but yes, and just for the note, I was on time. You had some stuff to do real quick, which is why we were late. And yes, I am wearing a very nice tie. Thank you. Mm-hmm. So I heard this is
a black tie event.
Black tie event, special kind of affair. So I decided to, dress up. This is, I think, what I'm going to try to get Melissa to agree that I'm going to wear to the wedding, but I'll try.
I don't think she's going to go.
I don't think she's going to go for it. Yeah, I don't think it's going to go well.
But yeah, so
you sound better. You don't sound like on death's doorstep anymore.
Yeah, dude. Well, okay. So yeah, I do sound better. And hello, everybody in the chat. Welcome, and thank you.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
But so yeah, the end of 2021 has really sucked, really bad, man. So my mom was sick. Lori's in Florida. Their dad's sick. But her mom is going on a cruise, so she's down there making sure that everything's okay with him. Then my dad got rushed to the hospital the other day. He had some kind of kidney. Dude, it just and then I think I got nothing left, man. And I don't know if I can't get better because of it just keeps coming. Like it just doesn't stop. It's just one thing after the other. My voice feels better, but I have this thing, and maybe it's like that COVID hangover where you're just exhausted, tired. Like, dude, I have never been so tired in all my life. My God, like it's crazy. But we're here and we're gonna do it.
Yes.
So
again, it's
we got Graham Battison in the house.
Graham's too. Here, and oh my God, this is becoming a shindig. Oh my God.
So when we do this, let's
normally
see. How are you, Owen? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm doing well. We are. I am just kind of getting back into the swing of things after Arizona. It takes almost a week to recover, if more at this point. So I am slowly getting back into my routine, and I have to start getting ready for breeding season. So I've already started to get going with that. But then some pairs that are already together have been breeding. So like the team wars are locking up like crazy right now. And I'm like, I'm just going to let this happen. I don't know what to do. So it's,
roll with it, man. Roll with it.
Exactly. I'm like, you're not supposed to breed at this time according to all the literature. Like, whatever, just let it happen.
It's all wrong, man. Don't listen to it.
Oh, yeah.
All the shit we said the last 10 years, don't pay attention.
Nothing makes sense. Nothing is real. We know nothing of what we're doing. Yeah. So basically, we've already hit the Owen is throwing Jello at the wall and seeing what sticks portion of the breeding season, and it is October. Right. So that bodes not well. So, but yeah, other than that, man, it's just trying to, like you said, I'm just trying to get to the end of the year at this point.
Yeah, man. Holy shit. Yeah. It's it's been nuts, but it'll be here before you know it, and we'll be doing it all over again. So
yeah, I'll be getting drunk on the holiday show. I mean, it's a Christmas tradition now.
Yes, this is true. Yep. Yes. Yep. So I remember before NPR I remember before NPR when Eric used to ask Larry Suttles and BT all the rep. Oh yeah.
Because there was nobody else asking carpet questions. Yeah.
No, I religiously would send them questions, man. I can't tell you how excited I would get when they would have a carpet python or Morelia python person on because Reptile Radio was really like a ball python. It's sort of like what we do, but with the focus on ball pythons,
Yeah, those popular things. So yeah.
They were really popular then. But what's crazy is to me, what's crazy to me is like at that time, like if you had a bumblebee ball python, oh dude, that was like, you know,
$20,000.
You know, like you go to Hamburg and it would be like, what a bump, what is whoa, what is that? Right.
Yeah, and that's just
I know.
I know
you love them so.
Well, them and like, you know, like, can you imagine corn snakes where it's like, you know, can you imagine if you had half the morphs? I think at one point people were like, oh my God, it's just a black abbot. And it was like a black corn snake, mostly black, not all black. And that I think has just been towed under with a bunch of other morphs that you can't even, I don't even see them anymore. But that was the big craze for a while when I was getting into carpets the first go around. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there are several ball python morphs, carpet morphs, or I'm saying not carpet, corn snake morphs, and boa morphs that just you can't find anymore or are very hard to find. So,
right.
Yep.
So here's the question I'm going to ask before we get into some stats. We're going to do some stats. We always do the stats at this time of year.
This feels like a state
I
of
haven't
the
shared
podcast.
these stats with Owen because you know,
I don't get
it's like
to
a
know
State
numbers.
of the Union, right?
Yeah.
Well, no, I want to see his reaction to it. But the first question that I have is what, like, how?
Why? I don't know. Next question.
For 10 years. Like, I don't know. How is the show?
What is
doing
wrong
this
with you
show
people? Why do you
this
listen
long?
to us? I don't. Yeah.
Doing the show this long, like, how has it influenced you? And
dear God,
are you if Owen from 2011?
Listen, no. That first
Owen
that
from
boy
2021.
That boy is dead, and he should remain dead. Like it is. It's you got to think about it is like, and I was trying to think about this the other day, because my one buddy was asking me questions about it, and when we started, I had 8 coastal carpet pythons, and I thought I was hot shit, like, and that was it, like that's it. So I would say that this radio,
I wish I had 8 coastal carpets.
Me too. Like, oh my God.
To be honest with
Maybe I wasn't so crazy, but
yeah,
I would say this show has expanded the horizon of what I was into with the reptile industry. So beyond carpets to all the things that are now in my collection, also beyond just keeping them as, you know, captives and pets, to like herping and discovering things and spending time outside and going on adventures. So I would say that without this podcast, I'm not sure if I'd still be in reptiles. I'm not sure if I would have anything above 8 or 9 carpet pythons. And I probably would have never gone to places like Australia, Arizona, Texas, stuff like that. So I would say that this podcast has definitely had an impact on my life and me for 10 years now. So,
yeah, I wonder, you know, obviously when we do this, we kind of like look back and whatnot, but I'm with you. I wonder if I would still be in reptile. Like, maybe I would have a reptile, but I wonder if I would be one of those people that don't know what US is, don't know like that there's a Tinley Park and Daytona, and you know, like one of them type of keepers where it's just like
you go to Hamburg, get your shit, go home.
Yeah.
You know,
like oh man.
And you look at the picture of these animals and you never even think that that keeping them is a possibility. Because I was going through Pythons of the World yesterday, and I'm looking at like the pictures they had of rough scales for the book, and I'm like, this is because it must have been so limited and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, it's my buddy Tom. He's not a snake person.
No.
No.
What's up, Tom?
No, he is.
Why aren't you a snake person?
Turtle. I mean, he has a turtle. He has a swimming turtle, and then he does not into snakes. No, Mort is a tortoise, and you know the difference. We're not going to do this on live air. So, but no, he doesn't have snakes because he's been around me since we were, in high school. Like, more baby face Owen than you ever met. Yeah. So he saw my whole transition into a crazy snake person. So it's probably why he's staying far away. But he has a 3-year-old that I'm slowly corrupting. So
okay.
very easily.
So yeah. So I know a lot of people have heard the story, and we've talked about it many times. But in 2011, I guess we actually, the idea started to come around for me in 2009, but I was just overwhelmed with the technology part of it because, dude, it's like so simple,
so
man.
much
You just
different.
have a
It's so
phone
much
and you can
easier.
podcast, like it's like, holy shit, man, this was so difficult. And it wasn't until like when I started hearing Reptile Radio and then saw how they did it. I was like, kind of like, wow, okay. So you can kind of do like a live radio show. And so I sort of got that idea and sort of formulated it, but wanted to do it on carpet pythons. And I think it was Will Bird's interview that he did on Reptile Radio that sort of like really sparked a huge interest in me for carpet pythons. And I'm not sure really why. At the time, I was just sort of fascinated with pythons in general. And if I'm being honest, like when I would look at carpet pythons in a book, I would just sort of like, because I was such into like Burmese pythons and stuff that I would just sort of like, I don't know. I guess I was like a big snake person at that time. And I didn't really, I mean, I looked at them, but it wasn't until I saw like Benjamin and, and Bullwinkle and these animals.
Yeah, that's usually how that one
like,
goes,
holy
right?
shit.
Yep.
And then I found the forums and then started getting involved there, and then slowly started building my empire while you were like, who is this guy? Eric
Who's this
Burke
asshole who's buying all the snakes I want?
I'm going to kill him. But yeah, from there, it just sort of sat there for a while, and eventually, I realized that I can't do it alone. I didn't want to do it alone, probably because Reptile Radio didn't do it alone. I don't know. I guess that was the influence, and it's much easier to do it with somebody because if something happens, you're not like solo out there on your own,
right.
And and it just trying to figure out how to do it was really the obstacle, as opposed to today where, like I said, the technology is
so much easier,
so much.
And that's something I was talking about the other day where it's like, I remember having to call in on my cell phone, which is how we would originally do it, is where you'd have to call in with the cell phones, and then with the computers slowly came part of it, and then the software came down, and then all this other stuff, to now we've got these things. So to have it has definitely changed many different ways.
Remember our first mic setups and stuff where we had like those big, like, with the headphone, it sounded so shitty, man.
And it was sitting right here, and I tried to get it to set up, and it would just fall over. So I just had this little tripod, and it got such a pain in the balls to set up. I just left it set up down in my snake room. So back in my mom's, you'd have like all these cages on one side, and on the other side, the cages only came to about chest high, because then that's where all my podcast stuff was, so that I would just pull up a stool and sit down on it and go for like, that was back when we had the show for like 3 hours or something like that. And I'm on this wooden stool that's rickety, and I'm like, I'm going to kill myself. Like it is, it's like not comfortable at all. So,
so there's this, this is a little bit of podcast nerdism, but there's this program that I've been messing around. It's called The Script. And basically what it does is you upload the audio to this program, and it writes it all out. And then you just go in and take out the uhs and the does and the ands and the this and the other words you don't want, or whatever, like anything you don't want it to be in there, and we'll take it out and reformulate your voice.
Good. And this way we can have the whole podcast in a book for the MPR library that we'll eventually build.
And what they can do is you can actually add. So somehow it takes your vocals and you can add, like, say you wanted to say, I don't know, the carpet python laid the eggs, and you said the carpet, like you didn't put laid the eggs. You could just type in laid the eggs, and then it'll say it in your voice, which is crazy.
My God. We can fix
you
all
know what
the
I mean?
horrible problems.
Yeah, it's just like,
You
oh
don't even need
man.
me anymore, is what you're saying. I'm fired.
Yeah,
So
and then the whole idea of like you had to do it live. There was no like you know, so it's like you had to have your shit together because you were
yeah,
doing it live, and if you screwed it up, you
and
know,
shit broke,
you
and
screwed it
we
up.
couldn't
You were
and edit it, and it was whatever
yeah, there was no
whatever. There
editing.
was right. There were several times where we ended the show, and I'm like, that was horrible, and now it's gone into the
Yeah,
ether, and we can't get it
yeah,
back. What was it? We were on with one of the Python hunters, and everything just fucking broke. Like everything just
yes.
broke, and he
I
called
forgot
out, and
about
we
that. We
called
had those
out, and
guys
then
on.
and then we called back in, and then everything went fine. But there was a good 10 minutes where the audio was horrible, and then silence for like 5 minutes, and then we're all back. Now we would just chop that piece out, but it's there. It's
like,
part of the
it's
episode.
okay. Yeah, let it roll, man. It's all right.
Yeah.
And then I remember we had our first Australian guest, which was Damien
Messed
Hyde.
that up. Yep.
And that was just horrible. And we had all these people that we wanted to talk to, but we couldn't because of the time difference and
the audio would just be choppy and crappy.
And that was the other thing, right? Because they had to connect via phone. They couldn't just click a link and get in. They had to actually call. So I had to have like a Skype program so that they could log into that and call so that they weren't paying to be on the show. You know, it's just crazy, man. I forgot about all those things, you know, because it's, it's 10 years ago, you know.
Right. And also this is so much better. And we complain about this of like plug in, turn on computer. It's like,
oh, I never do.
Again, it's acting slow. It's like, it's like, no, this is fantastic.
How dare you?
Yeah.
But I would show and even like coming up with the logo. This was our first logo. So my sister sort of like took a picture of that's my first citrus tiger, the girl that made the head albinos and all that stuff. And like that's probably my favorite snake in my collection. But she did that, and it was like, but at the time it was like, oh, that's cool. But I look at it now and it makes me cringe. And if Justin's
because how is
there,
it getting behind that one? How is it getting behind the microphone right there?
I don't know. She did something there. I don't know, but I was at so if Justin's still out there in the we'll have to show him this. You know, we talk about it, but like, of course he did it and we didn't. So kudos to him.
Yeah.
But there's just too much work for me, you know. And we're no way.
There it is. We got as far
the
as
Morelia
the cover.
Magazine.
Yeah, we got as
October
far as the cover.
2012.
Then we quit. We got the cover, and then we're like, "This is horrible," and we just quit.
And again, the technology back then, well, really, eMegs were not. I mean, they were a thing, but they weren't really a thing. So
So jungles. Look, you guys, that's the lost issue. Never been made.
Yes, the lost issue. The lost issue.
There's several lost episodes of NPR that we recorded and we're like, nope, like it just never came out. So
yeah, I don't think they'll ever come out.
They're never. Nope.
All right, so let's do some stats. All right, so stats NPR to date, 500. Well, this is 511 episodes. And it is a total of 1,185 hours, which is almost how long it takes to incubate carpet python eggs, or 49.38 days, or 7 weeks is how
you could put your clutch in the
listen to NPR
and listen to us the entire time, and then
the whole time. Play for your snakes as they go through.
It'll help.
Yeah.
No,
so
we can't subject patrons to those.
So cool thing is, Owen, and this is what I wanted to get your reaction, is that we have surpassed over 1 million downloads.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. 1 million downloads we have gotten over, which is pretty cool.
That is extremely cool.
Pretty freaking cool, man.
Guys, I'll need to get your heads examined, but that's extremely cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I didn't even know we did our 500. I didn't even know what our 500th episode was because I stopped
It was
paying
11
attention to the
episodes ago.
number.
Yeah.
Make prints of that cover. Oh, the jungle cover.
No
Yeah.
prints of the cover. Well, one, but it's framed in Eric's office. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I was just going through some old just old pictures and all kind of like look at this picture. Oh, look at you, Owen.
No.
Young Owen. And his
Poor fool.
coastal carpet python eggs.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That was your snake room, man, right?
Yeah,
Well,
that was it
wasn't
with
it
my
like when
Neodesha. That was before I
was
even got
yeah,
the cages built. Yeah.
yeah, because you sort of had even when before you got the cages built, didn't you have like it stacked all the way up here?
No, because
Up this way?
the off to the over to my left shoulder is just I had like 2 or 3 6-footers, and then I had a couple
Here.
4-footers, and then I had the Neodesha on top where I kept my jackass snake, and then I had a self-built 41 quart rack, which is what you can see behind me, and then right
Right.
next to the incubator is nothing but baby racks. So,
Oh, right. Oh, really?
yep, and then
Here?
from the baby, yep, right there, and then from the
Okay.
incubator to the door, there's another stack of 3-foot cages, but they were all built into one. Like some dude built these, and I bought it from him for some ridiculous amount of money, and they were all one
Okay.
unit, and they just had separate floors. Everything was made of melamine, so by the time I was moving
Yep.
out of there, dude, none of those cages lived. So the only
I
thing
know. I
the
helped
only
you
thing that
move them.
remains from that snake room, the only thing that remains from that snake room is the incubator and the baby racks. Everything else has been trashed, destroyed, and redone. So
So when the zebra jag eggs, the
mhm.
zebra tiger jag eggs, that
Hatched. Yep.
I failed at incubating maternally,
Life.
hatched.
Life
It was
happened.
up in here, right? Wasn't it?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Wasn't it up
They got out.
here? They-
Yep.
they-
They got out and they went right in because there's a fan up in there. And what I did is um I drained that thing of Freon, which I did not do it the safe way. I just cut the lines and ran. So
Jesus Christ. Isn't that like an environmental like
don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine.
That was 2011, right?
Yeah, it's all right. So I kept the electricity intact. So what
Okay.
happens is that when the thermostat turns on to heat the place, it actually turned on the fans too, and all that stuff. So actually, the babies managed to get up into the fan before it turned on because that's metal bladed. It would find chunks of babies all over the place, but
Yeah.
3 or 4 baby zebra jags, I think, got up in there. And that's where I found them all because those were the first ones born. And it's weird because Houdini is actually one of those babies that I got
Yeah.
from you, the zebra jag. So, yep.
Yeah. Full circle.
Yeah.
Which is
Full
crazy
circle.
because at the time zebra jags were like
5K.
$5,000.
Yeah. Don't worry.
Know?
That didn't go through my head after they escaped at all. Like I lost his zebra jags and
What am I gonna do?
Oh my god. Yeah, it was I can't pay him back.
So what is this?
That I think is
Do you
my
remember
first
what this clutch is?
First clutch of super caramels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Super caramels.
I forget why I did all this stupid photo crap, but I think it was
for the website, right? Or no, you already had it.
No,
you already had it.
No, I already had it. Somebody was writing some kind of article and wanted to take pictures of the snakes and then wanted to take pictures of me. So I let them. Yep.
Gotcha.
Yes, young Owen is a fool. So,
yeah, I forget. Man, let's see. I don't know if there was another one of. No, I don't think so. Oh, and then there's us. This is the first Carpet Fest. Which is
where we're
funny.
Auction thing. We're just standing around like idiots.
Yeah. So, very first Carpet Fest. Yeah, we're we're doing the auction.
This is before I wore glasses because I could see.
I think I don't know what's up with my pants. They're like super long. I must have shrunk.
You were getting shorter already.
Anyway. Yeah, I was shrinking as soon as I met you,
Yeah,
man. I started shrinking.
yeah, no,
now.
this is how it happens. But this is right before you ended up buying that green tree.
Yes. I thought it was in my hand.
That's a different picture. Actually, that's the picture. That's the picture that comes up when you call me. Is you looking down at the green tree python
I'm
with
like
this look of your face of like,
right?
I don't want to buy this. Like it was, yeah. That's the picture that comes up when
it was crazy.
I call you.
That was crazy because that was at Howard Redding's house, and
yep,
when we were there was a lot of chondro people there. There was a lot of chondro people. I think there was more chondro people than there was carpet people, but at that time the two worlds kind of like blended together. If you had carpets, you had a chondro. If you had a few people that were like strictly chondro people, there were a few that would like dabble with carpets every once in a while, or they had carpets, got out of carpets and moved on to chondros. But that was the first time that we met Buddy Buscemi, and he had brought this Biak for the auction, and it was solid yellow, like solid yellow, and that was a beautiful snake, and it ended up getting like 3 green scales on it, but I traded that for Molly, which chondro people would hate that, but
well, you're not a chondro person, so it made perfect sense to you. But it's weird when you look back on that kind of stuff and think about it, because it's like that connected to that, because it's almost like you can track it via animals. So because you got that chondro, you made the trade for Molly, and because you got Molly, you were able to breed her to V, which is why I have my red jag Vanessa downstairs. So it's like slowly linking all the things. And if one thing wasn't where it should have been, if we didn't have Carpet Fest, if you didn't buy that chondro, that animal wouldn't be downstairs. So
100%.
It's how easy projects are lost, missed, or whatever. So
so I'm trying to say, remember this snake? This was stop share. So in the early days of carpet python morphs, there was Gamma, and then there was Riddler. Remember Riddler?
I remember Riddler. I saw Riddler years later after Mo had sold a bunch of stuff, and she had gotten out of it. One of the guys I know who does like he's a flipper, but he also breeds other things, collier breeds, this and the other thing. And he came over to me and he goes, "Hey man, I got Riddler." And I'm like, "No, you don't." And he's like, "Yeah, I do." I'm like, "No, you don't." He goes, "Some dude came into my shop and sold me all the things, including Riddler." I'm like, "Prove it." And the dude showed me the animal and it had that question mark on his head. And I'm like, "Damn, you do have him." Yeah. And then he's like,
right?
Yep. And then he's like, "Oh, how much you want to give me for him?" I'm like, "I don't do jungle jags." And he wanted some insane price for him. I will admit, in his older years, he did not seem as bright yellow, but that is what a carpet approaching his teenage years would look like. And he still looked pretty good. So I passed on him. I don't know where he ended up going, but saw him.
Yeah. And then this was the very first Ruffy. Well, not the very, but the first Ruffy that we saw. I actually believe these are the ones that Shane got, didn't he?
Shane has. Yep. Shane got them from the auction. Yep.
There they are.
Yeah.
I mean, when we saw them at Carpet Fest, then we were like, "What the hell?" Back then, how much were they back then? They were really expensive, right? They were like $7,000 a piece, something like that.
I don't think they were that far, but they were out of my reach. They were pretty up high. And the only reason I got my two boys is I traded, I traded 2 caramel jags and 2 tigers for them. And at that point, caramel jags were still, I think, close to like $700. So,
right.
Yeah.
Whew, yeah, some 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 crazy shit that we. Let me see
Yeah,
what this
I mean,
is.
and that was the first introduction to rough scales in person, which set off my addiction, which is still not satisfied. I have another one coming at some point next week. So,
Another what?
rough scale.
Ruffy? Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who you getting that from?
Josh. Dexter,
Oh, okay.
what are you doing?
Yeah, doors away, so they're down here rather than having
Right.
barking.
No, it's oh, so I'm
He's
in the
probably
Dallas
looking for
airport.
crickets.
Yeah, he can't help
Yeah.
himself.
You're in the Dallas Airport.
I'm in the Dallas airport and I'm getting ready. My flight's delayed to go to Arizona. And
Mhm.
Josh threw out an adult female rough scale python on a table in Tinley. And of course, my phone just starts exploding from people who are at Tinley, who I've told that under penalty of death, if a rough scale gets past you, done. So I
Right.
talked to Josh and it's on its way. So, yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
Mhm.
Very cool. All right.
Another one to
Uh,
add to the army.
they don't make a 28-inch inseam. Yes, Robert, they do not.
No.
This is true. Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. So I don't know, man. Do you have let's talk shows. Is there a
Yeah.
favorite episode that we've done?
I was
Yeah.
gonna ask you
Oh
that.
wow.
I mean, do you have a favorite episode?
Whew.
Uh-oh.
Oh man.
Thinking.
I don't know. I don't
No?
I think I have a few,
Mm-hmm.
but I want I'm gonna see what you say first. Go
Well,
ahead.
it's hard to peg it down because there's ones that are my favorite for different reasons.
Yeah.
I love the
Okay.
one with Eugene Bissett because that was just fun.
It was a good
Um,
one. Yeah.
I love the one with Dr. Ross because that was like in my lizard brain of my inner herp nerd. Like that was fantastic.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
I love any episode that we have where it's like we don't realize that the show's over because we've been laughing too hard. So there are numerous
Yes.
episodes like that. Um, I've enjoyed every single holiday show we've ever done because it's like now, like I said, it's become my Christmas tradition to this is the beginning of the holiday season or something like that.
Yes.
I will Rico's show is awesome because I like it that we had him on and we were able to speak with him before we lost him. And I
Yes.
think that's going to become more prevalent with other things like that. We don't know what's going to happen, and it's good to have the shows and have the interviews and talk with the people. We had Forrest on for that kind of stuff too, so I enjoy those episodes of what they kind of carry with them is that they're still here, and then we kind of got a brief insight into their heads before they left us. So I love those.
Yeah.
So there's just way too many to mention.
Yeah, I think probably in the early days, probably my favorite episode was with Terry Phillip.
Mm.
I just loved how he explained things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He was just a real chill, real cool guy. I really enjoyed chatting with him, and he was on Reptile Radio I think 2 times, and then he came
Mm-hmm.
on with us, and now he kind of doesn't really do it anymore. But the big controversy of when he came on was that he does ambient heating, and at that
Mm-hmm.
time that was sort of
Can't do that.
that was a
Yeah.
no-go. You can't do that, and but I think the thing that gets left out of that conversation is the fact that uh Terry is taking care of a large group of of a very diverse group of animals at the zoo
Mm-hmm.
or at Reptile Gardens. Like, yeah, it's a zoo.
Yep.
And he has to sort of make it all work. So
Mm-hmm.
that's sort of his approach, and it kind of works. And I think that his keeping of green trees is really spot on because I remember even going to the MVF forum and sort of seeing some of the debates that they would have over there.
Mm-hmm.
And he was he would get internet beat up all the time about like his whole
What is he
thing, and I
doing?
love his whole
Right.
approach. He's like, just because rattlesnakes, out west, experience snow in their environment doesn't mean you're going to
Doesn't mean I'm
shovel snow into their cage. You know what I mean? Like, I don't
says
know, just
you. Yeah.
common sense stuff like that.
Right.
Um,
And and I love it because people are like, well, you can't do that. He's like, well, tell the animal that because I'm doing it and it's still alive. It's working. So yeah, I don't know.
yeah, I think a couple of my other favorite, yeah, Richard Ross is definitely up there.
Hmm.
Is one of my
That was
favorites.
fun.
That was well, it's like talking to your hero. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah. Yeah.
you've read his book cover to cover how many times, and
Oh, recent.
whenever
I
there's a
read it. I read the teamwork section a couple
recently,
days ago. Like,
right, exactly, and you still refer to it. You know what I
no.
mean?
It's like, yeah.
I mean, even though some of like taxonomy and stuff may be outdated and whatnot, but like the fact that you can go back and just and sort of like
Mhm.
and do it,
Reference.
and
Yeah.
I I was really I was really excited when we had Nick, Justin, and Ben on
The book.
as the
Yeah.
trio. It was like the book tour, like the fact that there was a carpet python book, and
We're gonna have to do it
that was
again.
yeah, I know, right? But this time it'd be Warren, I think, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, just I don't know. I'm trying to think who else. Eugene was a great one. I really
Hmm.
enjoyed talking with Eugene. God, there's so many. Rico, yeah, you're right. The fact that we talked to him.
Ron St. Pierre was a good one.
Yeah. And the
Uh
fact that he actually likes our podcast and is really a
yeah, that's
leader now.
weird, right? I don't know why.
You know what I mean? It's just like, wait,
I
what?
mean, come on now. Yeah.
Um,
So that was fun. I mean,
sorry about his trips to
yes,
Papua New
yes,
Guinea.
yes. Living vicariously through Ari,
It's just
which I seem to be doing more so now that he's like building a fantastic zoo in Texas. So
yeah, holy shit,
I
man.
mean, dude,
Wow.
I know. Doesn't it look cool? I mean,
Oh,
and I
dude,
hate him, and I hate him
that's
because
what
I'm
I
like,
want
I'm
my
rolling. Thank you. Like, I'm rolling out of my work, and I'm like, today sucked. And then I'm going on Facebook. Ari's like, spent all day building this tree. Oh well, guess I'll do it but more tomorrow. And I'm like, I hate you.
Yeah,
I
I
hate
just
you.
had
All
to
I want
deal
to be
with
doing is
idiots
building a tree. Like,
yelling at me like they don't know that inflation is happening on food, and they're like, "Why are you charging so much for eggs? Like, are you paying attention to the world right now?" Like, oh my goodness, yeah, I feel you there. But yeah, those are the things that kind of get you through the day. I did find a picture of the chondro that I my very first chondro, the Biak. Man, that snake was sweet. That snake was what, a year old, and I think that's the 1, 2, 3 green scales that I got. So, uh-oh. I think Owen
just be
froze.
quiet, building a tree. Yeah, weird. I don't know what's going on
Yeah.
in my stream there. Yeah, but no,
Yeah,
that was
kind of fell behind.
that. Yeah, I love that snake. That was a great snake.
Yeah. And the other thing I found was
Mm.
our first calendar contest. I thought it would be funny to
Those pictures are amazing.
I think let me see. Where did it go?
I think at one point one of them is like really far away because we didn't know how to like make it bigger without it getting all pixely and crap. So it's like all the other ones have like full pages and then one has like a square.
Yeah, we really did kind of suck, man. We're figuring it out.
Why don't we ever learn?
Another 10 years, we'll have it sorted.
We'll get it really down.
Shit.
Yeah.
No, I lost it.
And it was every Tinley. You were like, we will have calendars available at Tinley. We get close to Tinley.
And now we don't even go to Tinley.
Happening. We don't even go to Tinley.
Yeah, we don't even go there anymore. We're just like, nah. Who wants to go to shows?
Well, it's weird because, if you think about it, so I was in Arizona when Tinley was going on, or on my way to Arizona, and then right now I'm getting things on Facebook reminding me that 2 years ago we were in Australia.
I know.
Didn't that suck? Doesn't that suck?
Yeah.
Just
Dude, doing
It's like
NPR for 10 years to lead up to that trip, that had to be the most epic trip.
I could have
That
retired.
trip was epic, man. That trip was, oh my God.
No, I can't
So
retire
this
yet. I
was
must go to the Kimberly. I must get the rough scale. Then I'll retire. Then forget it. I'm done.
this was
Mm.
the winner of the Morelia of the year. Look at that granite, man.
Is that Pool Boy or Grand Pool
Yes,
Boy
it
or
is.
all
Yep.
right? I'm
Yeah.
saying these things, and half the people who are listening are like, "The hell are you talking about?" That
Yes.
was a granite line or granites produced by Julie at GFX Morelia. That was Pool Boy, and that's what if you wanted granites, that's what you wanted. So you bought it from
Yeah, they came
Julie,
from
and
she bought out Viking. I can't think his
yep,
name was Ed something. Viking Reptilia, and
yep,
she
up in New
bought
York,
out
he
the.
had some really good granites. Yeah, but
Yeah, man.
like I don't see that many people working with granites nowadays. I see one or two. I know Brandon Wheeler posted up one of his. Oh no, wait, was that Puget Sound Pythons? Uh-oh. Maybe both of them. Anyway, but I see them with granites, but I don't really see too many other people really working with them, focusing on them. I mean, I think you could do great things with the granite project.
Look at that
That's an
IJ,
IJ.
bro.
That's an IJ.
Holy shit, that thing is nice.
Who was that?
Yes.
Who owned that one?
That was Erin. Erin, she took over the Yasser's
Right.
PC stuff.
Right.
Yep.
Wow.
Amazing.
You have stuff from that,
Amazing
don't you?
snake.
Of course I do.
Yep.
Yep. Yes, I
Of
do. It's in the
course.
vault. Yeah. It's going
In this
through Eric's
jungle.
IJs is
Remember?
like, which one?
Yeah, right. Flashpoint. Or not.
Yep. 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 Wow.
Yeah, that was
Skywalker
before
Award.
Johnny
What did we
Blaze.
do? Did we
Yeah,
really have
remember?
to Star Wars
Yeah.
reference everything? Like,
Yes, we
oh,
did.
light side, dark side, and then we went through all that other bullshit.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And
not having needs
we
to
couldn't
gimmick.
get it. Nobody in America had really had rough scales to put the picture in. So I don't know whose this was, but it was somebody from Australia. But it was cool.
Wow. Dig it.
They have such a distinct head, man. I think it's because their snout is so thin, right?
I was thinking about
their
that today
eyes,
because I was looking at pictures of the Owen Pelly python in the book, and it's just like the snout is so long and it's really cool, and also the little in the snout of an Owen Pelly python, like they had the rough scale has the giant shield on the top of its head. Owen Pellies have these like really tiny scales that just run down their snout, just because there's really no room for anything else. So just a bunch of small scales, and I was really like, that is awesome today. So I don't know why I was kind of going on all about that. So
that's cool. Here's the we called it the Kenobi Award. But this was this is when we accepted tub shots.
Yes, yep. That's when we accepted tub shots.
I think this is the picture that Balin sent,
sure that
and we had to blow it up.
Yeah,
come
Balin
on,
sent
man.
it, and we're like, God damn it, dude! Like, yeah, I think this was the last year we accepted tub shots.
Nice though.
Yeah, it's his red
Holy
tiger
shit. That's a nice one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, is that the red?
That's the
and also I should
red
say.
stuff.
Okay. I should say, just so everybody knows, just in case, we are doing, we're really live streaming. If you listen to this podcast, we did this live stream on YouTube. So if you go to the MPR Network YouTube page, you can sort of see what we're talking about. Is this a Dave D Chondro?
Maybe.
Holy shit, man! Chondros are
look like Fruity Pebbles. Yeah.
Like holy hell! Good Lord!
Yeah.
That was before the sickness took over the world of chondros.
Yeah. This is what chondros used to be like. So
look at those eyes, man. Holy hell.
Dude, again, no, but that's the problem is every person who photographs a chondro, they're like, let me zoom in on its eyeball. Yes, it's glorious, but let me see the rest of the snake because it's a very pretty animal. So it's,
right.
Not everything needs to be just a close-up shot of their eye. So.
And this is another one that really wasn't, I don't even think at this point it was really officially even proven out, but I could be wrong. Maybe it was proven out. Maybe one season, but the silver pepper. Look at that.
We put that in the calendar?
Yeah.
On newspaper?
Yes.
With a shed?
On newspaper. With a shed. Darren,
what is wrong with us?
How dare you?
Oh my God, what is wrong with us?
Well, I think this is the thing that people don't understand.
We got too distracted by the snake? Yeah.
Well, yeah, that too. But like carpet pythons were so niche, man. They weren't really, there wasn't a lot of people that were doing carpet pythons. You know that. You know, I mean,
beggars can't be choosers, right?
Yeah, you got to sort of
when
take
you only
what
have,
you can get. You got to,
when you only have
to
3
slowly
entries
build up the
inland.
army. Yeah.
Oh God.
What's this one? Oh yeah. I guess. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's a blackhead. Insane. What the hell's a blackhead doing in there?
The blackhead doing in here? We didn't have.
This is really. Wait, this really looks like. Now I'm looking at this. Holy shit, man! Doesn't that kind of almost look like a Brettles python?
Yeah. I thought you were going to say like, did we? I thought we were really honestly going to say that we let one of the panthers get into the calendar, and I was like, really? We did that? We bit that hard on those?
No.
So I'm like, no.
Oh, the Panthers.
No.
Tell people about the Panthers.
If they don't know. The Panthers. If you don't know about what the panther is, it's the panther carpet python, and it was a jungle morph. They came out through the Ukraine. Correct me if I'm wrong. Ukraine. Russia, one of those places. Yeah. Yep. So it came out and it was a jungle morph. It was supposed to be a recessive.
Right.
This guy has an adult animal and he's showing it off and he's saying, here it is. I have it and I bred it to my jungles and I'm selling babies. And there were several people that wanted to get in on the babies. I know people were talking about having them shipped to the US. I know Paul Harris was interested. I know I've talked with Phil Starkey. He said he was interested. A bunch of stuff like that. I'm not sure if any of them actually bought it or didn't, but I think I know that there were some people.
Almost.
I know people were almost. I know people were getting ready to write checks and stuff, and they found out that the reason the animals were black because he also said that he had babies. He had baby panthers as well. So he was selling hets and then he had baby panthers to show that it was, proven. The reason that they were black is because he spray painted these animals with black spray paint. So it came out that he did, in fact, just go over them with some matte black spray paint. And that's how you got black carpet pythons. And he was trying to make a quick buck. But it was very close to some people almost spending a ridiculous amount of money on animals that they would have gotten, and either they would have been peeling paint off or they would have shed and been like yellow and black jungles. So that was a close one. It's almost like how people were showing me a bunch of red white lips, but it turns out the guy was just soaking the white lip in like Kool-Aid for a couple months. That's and crazy. Then took pictures of it. Oh yeah, I know. That's so crazy. There are some people who do that. So yeah, but that was the panther. That was, people were going nuts. And of course, I was all about it because, it's a matte black carpet python. It looks so
you were
cool.
ready. You were ready to put,
I was chomping at the bit. I was like, oh man. I was asking like every single guest we had on, hey, what do you think about panthers? Do you think they're awesome? I do. So yeah, thank God I didn't have an insane amount of money. So
I was so I just stumbled upon these pictures. I'll put them up real quick. But so I bought this, and I think Owen, you actually brought it to me. But I don't know, maybe it was Luke Snell. I think it was you. Anyway, I had the striped jungles.
Yep.
And I had this snake, and Justin Julander produced this from Australian Addictions. And when so I often talk about that snake, and I talk about skunk was the ones that he had. Oh wait, um, skunk was the name of the one snake that he had that was just crazy. Now I don't know if Ben
Yeah.
had them, but I love all that,
Yeah.
like that
All that stuff.
black and
The webbing or
yellow.
whatever this.
I call it
Yeah.
webbing, bricking,
Or
tipping,
whatever you want to call it.
whatever. But
Yeah.
doesn't it look like bricks? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Stacked up. This is
yeah,
why I don't understand why we're so far behind with striped jungles compared to Australia. It's like all the pieces are here or were here years ago. Why isn't anybody doing this?
yeah.
So yeah,
I don't
I
know,
don't know.
man. I don't know. I wish I did. I'm
Mm,
trying. I'm trying. I know Riley's trying, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, that was our first the red ball.
that was
What
the first
was the red
calendar.
ball? Oh,
Yeah.
I guess they did the same thing. That was the
Yeah.
first
I mean,
calendar, and yeah.
yeah.
What? You mean what?
No, I mean, the red ball was the same thing. They soaked it in Kool-Aid or soda or whatever.
Oh,
So yeah.
oh, really? Oh, you know
Yeah.
something about ball pythons. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah. I know what to avoid. So, um,
Pop one carpet? Well, poison ivy is almost solid black, but one
she was, yeah.
doesn't want to work with pop one carpets because he's afraid he can't breed them. I don't know.
I can't
Whatever.
breed them. We've known we have numerous
Yeah,
we have
I'm not really
we
sure.
have numerous things that show it that I can't breed them. I've tried several times. I had to ship them off to Jason Balin. I am Papua and carpet free now.
Oh, none at all?
None at all. Not a single one.
Wow.
And I keep refusing to let you give me stuff. It's like you're like, you could have this. No. Like I am Papua and carpet free right now.
Yeah, well, I did get these from April. I don't know if I showed you these.
No.
But it's not a snake.
What? No, not more lizards.
It's not a snake. Yeah, it's some geckos.
Oh, well, all right. Okay. Wait.
What?
I don't think. Yeah, I didn't think I saw your new geckos the last time I was over at your place. I didn't see the. I had to be in and out, so I didn't really get time to do our normal thing where we go between like your snake room and your office, and your snake room and your office like 12 different times, checking shit out and talking. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then don't do the thing that we were supposed to do when I came down. Yeah. What? Nobbies? Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Good.
So it's
please bag all their skin.
For what?
I need it.
Okay.
It's the only thing that's been working for some of these mad hogs. Please put their skin in a bag.
Got it. This is the natural form.
Oh.
I kind of like the natural form better, but
I do. What kind?
So they're Australian barking geckos, Underwoodosaurus.
Okay.
Yeah, very cool. You're right, Craig. Nobody should be pop one free. I keep trying to give him some, but he doesn't.
I don't need it. I got plenty of other shit.
So yeah, she had she was moving out of the project, so I was like, what's another animal that eats bugs? You know?
What are you doing with this? Like, I mean, at this point now, I'm concerned about certain carpet projects are going to start getting pushed out for geckos.
No, no. I know.
I know.
No.
I know. So it's cool.
You know,
they're awesome.
There are certain projects that I kind of like am over. Like I'm really not into like the whole kind of make it super zebra stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just not into that.
You don't have to be. I mean, I'm getting over some of the stuff that some of the projects I'm like, I don't need to do that. Like there's several that I'm like, nah. So
it's funny, like a big part of my collection is coastals and IJs. I mean, a huge part of my collection.
You should just get rid of the coastals and just send them here. mainly the M
No,
pens.
man. There's
Damn you.
no,
Damn
no,
you.
no, no.
Not
I'm
yet.
finding myself. I don't know what happens, man. It's so weird how, and I guess this is going to be my thoughts about how I don't know if you want to say evolved, not evolved. I don't know. Like over the years of doing this for so many years, and like I would say probably at the beginning of doing this, I was big time into wanting to produce like crazy morphs and
Yeah.
combinations, and um, you know, spending so much money, man. Like so
No,
much money.
it's
It's
so
crazy how much
you
money.
had every season planned out that you were going to produce this animal, and then you had several pages down when that animal was on that page was old enough you were going to breed it to
Yeah.
this to make this. I just imagine you
Yeah.
now in your backyard with the book, throwing it on your fire pit and like, yeah, I'm free.
I'm not selling my soul anymore.
I'm not. I'm free of you. It's just a bunch of smoke and ghouls falling out of it. It's like,
yeah. I don't know. The thing that always I was attracted to with the morph thing is the whole you don't know what you're gonna hatch out type of thing. But the more and more I thought about it, like now it's you kind of get that with carpets anyway.
Yeah.
Without morphs,
Yeah.
like
any egg can be weird looking.
well, I mean, just like think of coastal carpets, right? I mean,
yes,
when we've produced coastal carpets, you always get these weird ones that are in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're gonna get that they got a weird like pattern or a weird color
or cool stripe on a cool looking animal.
Yeah.
You have an 80%. No matter what you're doing, you have an 80% chance of a stripe popping up in there somewhere. So I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat. You and I are kind of we're kind of in forking directions right now where you're going off and you're kind of cutting down on certain projects, adding lizards and stuff that you want to not necessarily breed, but keep and kind of check out and hang out with and do all this other stuff. I'm
100%
shaving off a bunch of different morph projects that I had that were like one animal or, two animals or three animals that I'm like, that's not my thing anymore. But I'm getting more of it would be cool if I bred this pair of animals just because of what they are. Like my Chinese king rats, like the Timor pythons, like, other things like that. So I'm kind of stepping away from morphs and multiple projects, trying to get into like multiple projects within the same species and trying to get a certain number of projects into carpets and then have the rest be kind of offshoot, whatever the hell's. So keeping it interesting is what I'm trying to do.
Right. Yeah, I think, the monitors are just awesome to have,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they'll breed. I don't,
if they do, cool. If they don't, whatever.
Cool. Yeah. I'm sure Heath and Rob will be, excited that they do. And you love Kim's, so I'm sure you'll
I do.
probably,
I don't need Kim's. No,
be a
I don't.
lizard person too.
No.
Well, you haven't even seen them yet, have you? Like in person?
No, I haven't seen the Kims. No, I haven't.
Yeah.
Dude,
they're cool.
It's dangerous.
But yeah, I think like I guess the whole morph thing, like I guess I would rather have, like, I think back to the early days of carpet pythons, right? I think of Battaglia. I think of Andrew Paris comes to mind with this as well, right? He doesn't have a big collection, but what he has is just stellar examples of specific animal. You know what I mean? Like it's like if and I used to think, well, that's kind of snobby, but like if he, if a smudge would be on the jungle carpet, it's out the door. You know what I mean? But like then you look at his collection and he's refined it so much. John did and Andrew did, and there's a lot of jungle people are like that, right? Where they have these just amazing collections of animals that are just stellar. And I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I'm just drawn to the natural stuff, I guess. I don't know if it's normal. I don't know, man.
I get what you're
Maybe
saying.
It's time. I'm not enjoying snakes if they're just in tubs and I'm just cleaning shit. And I guess I guess the enjoyment in the past for me was producing animals,
The cool
but
thing.
then,
Yeah.
the whole thing of like selling to me is just like, that's not me, man. Just, I'm not I will
Yeah.
sell snakes, but I'm just not, I can't, I don't have the time to do it right. I get, does
Right.
that make sense?
It does. And
Like,
I
I don't
mean,
want to, I don't, go ahead.
well, I mean, like it makes sense. And it was one of the things where, I definitely was thinking it more along the lines of, I have a pretty good collection of super caramel and caramel stuff. So
Yeah.
why do I keep mucking around with like this other thing that can't plug into caramel and other things like that? Like that I couldn't breed into
Right.
caramel. Like, why do I have this? So, you know, cut that out. So sticking with caramel, Exanic, and then obviously like some bread lie stuff and um I have the albino stuff too, just because, and then I have maybe one or two jungle projects, but mainly the main focus is caramel because I have a shit ton of caramels, and I have, like you said, I've been slowly weeding my collection to the point where my holdback from last year, my super caramel jag, I I
Hmm.
don't have. She's stellar. She doesn't have, she almost has reverse saddles. So like, you'd expect the
Hmm.
saddle on a Jag to have black around the rim. She has little
Yeah.
specks of black in each side, in each inside of each one of her saddles, like a couple black scales. The rest of her is bright yellow and caramel colored. So I'm like, cool, you get to stay.
Wow.
So
Right.
so yeah, it just
Yeah.
from
You've
that.
really, you've, you've really done some pretty awesome things with it. I think of two when I think of caramels in the US, I think
Mm,
of you and I think of Nick, right?
yeah.
Um, and it seems like Nick's sort of on the hypo kick now. So I mean, I'm sure he'll still breed caramels and stuff, but like,
I would love to be on the
um,
hypo kick,
you
but
know,
I don't. I'm not chasing down 5K worth of snakes right now. Like I'm not about to spend that
yeah,
money. So I'm pretty good where I'm at.
tell me
And
about it.
well, and to keep
Yeah.
myself interested, I'm like, well, time to start crossing Exanic into it. I have a caramel jag head Exanic female that I got from
Uh-huh.
you that will be ready next year, maybe, or the year
Hmm.
after.
Right.
And I've produced my own stuff that is caramel head Exanic. So I'm gonna get me some caramel Exanic Jags.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was cleaning my collection today, and as I was going through, I was like, "Man, yeah, you'll probably go caramel zebra. You'll probably go. Yeah, yeah,
Get
you'll
out.
probably
Get
go.
out. Get out.
It's like,
Get out.
oh,
Get out.
coastal carpet. Ooh, that's
You
nice. You're
stay.
gonna
Not
stay.
see, that's the
Um,
why can't I convince you to do jungles and IJs and just give me all the coastal? How
I
do I
know,
do
right?
this?
That must
Like
burn in your soul.
must
Um,
yeah. Oh, I'm getting rid of a shit. Oh, not the M pens. Fucking god damn it. Like it's
yeah.
I have to wait.
Here's a dark IJ for you.
There's a
There you
dark
go.
eye, Jack.
Dragon
Is
Lair
that
was
poison ivy stuff or is that a different thing?
so that's poison ivy's parent.
Okay.
Looks less like her, don't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You breeding those kids this year, right?
Yep.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. This is
The secret project is
another one.
another black IJ. Yeah. Where'd that one come from?
And what's that?
Where'd
Poison
this one
ivy.
come from? That's poison ivy?
Poison ivy.
Huh.
No, that came from poison
No,
ivy.
it came from poison ivy. That's one of her
Yeah,
kids?
this is the actual. Yeah, this is the
No.
actual sire to poison ivy. You can kind of
Yeah,
see
it's
where
a
it's the
lot of
normal head when it gets black
that.
and the.
That looks a lot like the kids that you have right now.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
that looks a lot like them. Yeah. Dear
And
God.
what's crazy is when I hatched out poison ivy's babies, I have the pictures right here, so I'll just put
Mm.
them up so people.
Let's just look at those.
Yeah. I don't know why my computer's running so slow. I just want a picture. Put the picture up.
Do it.
There we go.
Do it now, computer.
So out of the egg.
Mm.
That's what they look like.
I remember that.
I was like, what?
I'm like, are they gonna darken? You're like, I sure fucking hope
so. Yeah. So that snake turned into wait. I guess you can't see. Wait. Turned into not that exact snake, but turned into that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
those will be fun to breed.
Yeah.
See that project finally come, full circle.
Yeah, I can't do the Brandon. I can't do the. I've seen them so much that I swear that they're related. Because they look exactly the same. Like those super dark IJs that pop up from time to time, but without the lineage. To me, I know. I just feel like with IJs in particular, because you can get wild caught stuff. I think it's kind of like important not to sort of muddy the pool, if you will, so that when years from now, here's when they actually hatched. Here's a picture of the clutch when they hatched out. I was like, oh my god, dude. I think I screwed up.
I think I messed up.
I was like, that was the picture.
That was the picture
None of
you
them
sent me.
black.
You're like, oh my god, I think I messed up. I'm like, it's okay. But it's weird because, like, I remember the other thing is that any kind of dark IJ that pops up could be linked back to poison ivy. But remember, you weren't the first owner of her or the first person to breed her. She was originally bred to a jaguar by her previous owner. So who's to say that the animals on the dark IJs on Morph Market are necessarily pure either way? So there's something else to worry about with that. That's why lineage for this stuff is so important.
Right. And I don't want to screw it up for IJs since we can get, stock that's
wild.
That's real.
So yeah.
So but
we'll see how it goes. I mean, I'd be interested to see those babies, but if you breed them together and they all come out red banded things again, oh god damn it, not again. It's like they won't just come out black. So
it's like, I guess then I don't know. You just have to selectively breed. So kind of crazy that is actually the sire to poison ivy. So I thought it was darker, but the one snake was darker, and that one was kind of dark. But
look at all that. Look at the head stamp though; it's black. So
yeah, that's the cool thing. Every time they so when they were younger, what would happen is slowly over time, the head stamp would sort of be the skull and crossbones thing, and then it would sort of fill in, and then the whole head the whole top of the head would be black. But what are they talking about? Toucan jungle.
I don't know. Something. I guess something on Morph Market is there's a black IJ on Morph Market, and they're talking about that. So
yeah, Dustin, that's what I sort of thought, that they were sort of like IMG. Very, very early on, that whole project came about was there was I don't even remember his name. Shit.
Jake?
Well, Jake produced him. Jake Milbrat produced him.
Milbrat produced him.
He's a ball python guy. But back in the day, in the MP days, he was big time into trying to make black jungles.
Without
the
black
paint.
Yeah.
Without the spray paint. And he had those two that I just showed. He bred them together, and when he hatched out the clutch, they were all normal looking, just like what I got, right? So he sent them to Anthony Caponetto, and Anthony Caponetto was sort of they were like good friends or whatever. And turns out that he was selling a group of them or whatever, because there really wasn't nothing that was happening with him. And this guy that I got him from, which I can't believe I'm drawing a blank on his name, but anyway, I bought him from him, and then slowly over the years, this IJ got darker and darker and darker. But the thing is that at the time, he didn't necessarily know anything about where it came from. So I think we were talking about it on MP. It was one of those animals when I saw it, it's sort of like the M Penn Coastals. When I saw it, I was like, man, if you ever sell that snake, you better hit me up right away
You better
because
call me
my
right the fuck
yes,
now. Yeah.
I'm gonna get first shot at that snake. So uh, so he did, and he's like, "Hey, man, I'm getting out of this." He bred it to a jag, and he's like, "I'm going to move this animal along. Are you still interested?" Yes, absolutely. Send it to me, whatever. And I must have been
Mm-hmm.
talking about it on NPR, and Jake Milbrat had listened to the show, and he hit me up, and he says, "Hey, man, where did you get that?" And we started
Mm-hmm.
talking, and one thing led to another, and I said, "Well, I got it from this guy. He got it from Anthony Caponetto." He says, "Let me check some things out." So he went and talked to Anthony, and he's like, "Yeah, I sold them to him. They were the
Mm-hmm.
ones that you gave me from those dark IJs that you did." And then he's like, "Dude, I can't believe that snake is dark. What the hell?"
Yeah. All of
He's
a
like, "They
sudden, like,
hatched out normal." He's like, "God damn it." Can you
yeah.
imagine that? Like, can you
No, dude,
imagine
that is
like
my worst
thinking that
fear.
a
That's my
project
worst
is going
fear.
to go this way, and then
And
like
then
years down the
frustratingly
line,
failing. Yeah. Mm-mm.
you sold them all, and then you see them
Oh my
later, and they're
God,
exactly what you thought
I
they
would
were
be
going to be.
pissed. I would be pissed because I know my dumbass would be like, and I sold every single baby for the last 4 years, so they're all gone. And yeah, no,
Yeah,
I'd be mad. Yep.
yeah.
God.
But yeah, that's crazy. And then yeah, and then sort of when I got them, I think Nick was on the show, or he must have been
Mm,
talking to me or whatever, and he wasn't really talking about. I think at the time they were talking about. I can't remember which type of carpet it was. I think it was maybe it was caramels, and he's like, I don't
mm,
understand why people are breeding this to that. Why would you do that? It kind of negate. How Nick
right.
is with his certain
Yes, I
things
do.
and his thinking and whatnot.
Yeah.
But he was saying to me that he's like, if you're trying to prove something out, why would you breed it to? Oh, it's like red coastals, right? So
Right,
if you're
right, right,
trying to
right.
prove out red coastals, why would you breed it to something that produces red babies? Or no, if you're a
Right.
caramel, why would you breed it to something that does red
You'd go
babies?
the exact
Because then you're
opposite to
not
see
going to
if
know
they all
what's
come out.
what.
Right.
Correct. So I sort of took that advice and went the opposite. Got the brightest GQ IJAG of Vine, bred it to that, and then they patched out normal. And I was like, oh man,
Shit.
well, either they're gonna turn dark or I went too far the other way. Damn it.
Why did I
So
listen? Why didn't I go for the dark IJ? So
yes. Yeah.
but no, I mean
But
I've seen them up till recently. Those babies did get a shit ton of black on them. So
yeah.
that'd be cool to
Yeah.
see what the next generation looks like.
Yeah. So I have two generations of them. Two. Yeah, two.
Mm,
So I have from
cool.
Poison Ivy and then Poison Ivy to because the crazy thing about Poison Ivy is that she produced that whole clutch that I got.
Hmm.
It was like, I think it was 11 babies,
Right.
and it was 10.1.
What? What the
10.1.
fuck?
So,
Oh my God.
yeah. What are you over there looking for?
Crickets. Get it, Dexter.
Yeah, that's probably right. Probably looking for crickets. I haven't seen that, Brandon. Yeah, this was a question that popped up was
The
info on
Black
that
Inland.
black inland that popped up in Australia. Yeah, it was kind of
Wow.
in and out. I haven't
Yeah.
heard much of it. But
They're pretty
when I
secretive
saw that
about
picture,
stuff.
those eyes
Yeah.
were kind of funny, man. They kind of had a funny
Mm,
look to them. But
like popped up a little bit or something like that.
yeah, they kind of look bug-eyed, like
Oh no,
Trans-Pecos
like
rat snake
or leucistic
type
Texas
of,
rat snakes. Yeah, just
Yes,
it's
yeah,
not what they're
that's what
supposed
it
to
looked
look
like.
like. Really? No,
No,
it's like
kind
not
of
at all.
got the
But
I didn't.
that I mean that can happen with some morphs, and Australia, those guys are pretty secretive about their stuff. I there have
Yeah.
been we've heard numerous stories of people breaking into other people's homes to
Yes.
steal animals to breed them. So a lot of stuff is kind of kept under lock and key. So I would not be surprised if it kind of just disappears for a little bit and then reemerges. So, which is weird. That happened with a lot
There
of
he is.
stuff here in
Look.
the U.S. too. With like,
Right.
I remember Pied Retic came out, and then oh my god, All right.
See what I'm
Well, its
saying?
head does not look right.
Right? It's not me, right?
Well, no, it looks like a freaking Amazon tree boa. Like, what is wrong with
You know, you remember those animals that were on, I can't remember what they were called, but on Land of the Lost, the little green things with the
I
big bugs.
I only remember Land of
Oh,
Lost,
you're
like
never mind. You
small parts
remember
of it
Will
that were
Ferrell.
on Nick of
Yeah.
Night. Oh, no, I don't remember that one. Maybe the second iteration. I don't know. Your TV was in black and white and had bunny ears. Okay, so
It was.
oh,
Sleestack. Yes, that's it. Sleestack. Yes. Thank you, Justin. Yes.
thank you, Justin.
I'm gonna wait. Hold on. I'm
We
getting a
don't have
picture
to
of
do that. But
Sleestack.
anyway, but yeah, that can happen, and maybe it's got a little bit of a dolphin head kind of a thing going on, and maybe it doesn't live, which sucks. But sometimes the genetic mutations are genetic mutations. The hell is that?
Totally. Come
The
on, man. Tell me that snake doesn't look like those
hell is
eyes.
that?
A Sleestack.
That's insanity. Nope.
Yes.
Wow. I learned something today. So
There you go.
yeah. But who knows? Maybe it'll pop up. Like I said, I think I remember Bob Clark imported like pied retics, and he only brought in
Right.
one, and it looked horrible. And then I never saw them again for years. And all of a sudden, pied retics started popping up all over the place. So,
Yeah.
including my basement. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah,
I wonder why they're so
dickish.
like,
Don't know.
why are they so yeah. It's so crazy. It's like Xanic IJs are the same way, man.
They just haven't been inbred enough to be stupid. So give it time.
I guess. I don't know, man, but they're
Yeah.
freaking holy shit.
Oh my god. They just that retic was horrible. Both those retics were horrible.
Which is weird because if 2011 Owen knew that 2021 Owen
had
would
retics
have,
at one point,
what 2019 Owen would be a retic guy?
Poor fool. Yeah,
I had
at one point I had 3 retics. Thank God we're down to 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you still have one? What is it?
Yeah.
Oh, the one from Matt?
The Platinum Tiger, whatever the hell.
Gotcha.
That that Matt gave me. I love her. She's very well behaved, and she just eats everything you put in front of her. Like, I'll go to the supermarket and get the whole Cornish hen and give it to her.
Oh,
and then
wow. Okay.
My sister, one of her egg laying chickens died, and I fed that to the retic. So I mean, she'll eat anything. It's awesome. But right now she's on rabbits and stuff like that.
So here's the question for you.
Yeah.
What do you what did, if you go back all those years, what's the one species that you've always wanted to work with but still haven't worked with? Still on the list that one day you want to work with them.
I don't have any. I mean, I would say there's one on the list now, but it was never even anywhere near the list in 2011. I didn't even know they existed. Owen Pelly Python.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean,
you didn't know that they existed?
Well, I mean, I knew that they were I knew they were there. I knew they were an animal, but I didn't know they were.
Oh, you didn't know that they were like bred and in captivity.
Right. I didn't know there was anything.
I don't know if they were.
There was no sliver of hope of ever getting them. They were just something you saw on, Nat Geo and was like, cool. Like, and that was it. So,
right.
But no, man, I mean, I've worked with so many things at this point, and I've gotten opinions about so many things. There's very few things that are on my list where I'm like, I want this because I've never worked with it before. Right now, Argentines are on that list, but I got those 2 coming. So, and I've worked with boas before. So, there's really nothing on the list. And I'm trying really hard to not be like, it'd be fun. Knobtail geckos. Like, no. And like, like there's, you got to understand, it's like there's an edge here, a razor thin edge that I'm attempting to stay away from, where I'm just like, it's great. Knobbies. Like, no, can't do it. Won't do it. And now I know that you have like the barking geckos. It's gonna be dangerous, bro. I mean, like I'm not sure if I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Nipper are on a Australian gecko kick, man.
That's why he
It's
hasn't been talking to me
pretty.
about colibrids anymore. You
Nah,
stole
it's like,
Nipper.
yeah, I'm slowly taking over the world with legged animals.
Well, I was
Which
talking
is
to him and I'm
crazy.
like, I was talking to him about Arizona and I'm like, man, if I had the balls, I'd do the ridge nose. I'm like, these things are awesome. And he's like, you already have false water cobra. I'm like, that they don't count. Like it's fine. So
Yeah, dude, that one you found. Well, you already told the Patreon story. So tell me the
yeah,
story about finding that. 'Cause you didn't really tell
with
me.
the
You didn't
ridges or
really go
the
into that.
rock banded. Um,
What was the one?
so,
Well, yeah.
so
What's the
I
one you
found the
found and sort of were like walking through it and you didn't have a stick? Which one
Oh,
was
that
that?
was I found the first clobber, the banded rock rattlesnake.
Okay,
We had gone through this one area and we were looked under stuff and we'd gone through another area and they had a bunch of like wood and some tin and stuff like that for flipping. So we had
right.
already flipped a lot of it, but there was a bunch of tin that was underneath a bunch of wood and beams and stuff like that and out in the middle of this field. So I just walked over and I don't have a hook, so I just flipped one piece of tin and there was this very small clobber just sitting there and it's shaking its tail and all I could kind of all flustered. So I'm just like I just scream rattlesnake at the top of my lungs and
Right.
Justin Justin and Keith were nearby and Justin's like, what kind? I'm like, I don't know. And then Justin comes running over and he's like, clobber and then we try to persuade it to come with us over to another area to take pictures and it escapes
Okay.
us and we start looking for it and of course I don't have any kind of hook or anything like that and we Keith moved this one last log and we can Justin could hear it the whole time. I could hear it a little bit. Keith said he couldn't hear it. So we're moving stuff. We can't see anything. I'm not moving my feet. Nobody's moving their feet. Everybody kind of planted. So we're just kind of doing. I can't touch anything because I have my hands and the other guys have hooks. So Keith moves this one last board that was right in between Justin's legs. And then the buzzing gets louder. And we're all like, wait, wait, wait. And then Justin looks right down between his feet. And there's the snake curled up right between his feet. So we're like, holy
Holy
shit. And
shit.
then we scooped it onto a piece of tin and then ran it over to a more open area to take pictures and stuff of it. But that was the first one. So then as Rob's taking pictures of that one, Justin's like, well, you said it was in this pile of stuff. I'm like, yeah. He goes, and he walks over and flips over another piece. And he's like, oh, there's another one. Like it was like right there, like
That's
maybe a
wild.
foot away from where we found the first one. So that's where we found those. And then I think the next day we came to the same spot and we found the second rattlesnake again. So the second banded rock
Uh-huh.
rattlesnake was in the same place. So then we
Okay.
decided that instead of walking back the same path that we usually did, we're going to walk straight up a creek bed and the riverbed. And as we're doing it, we're walking, and I'm kind of on the right side of the creek bed, and Justin's on the left side. And as we're walking, Justin gets buzzed as he's walking, and he stops and turns. And there's a woolard eye. There's the ridge nose rattlesnake is right there.
Yeah.
So he gets
Yeah.
it, and then we kind of coax it onto the riverbed, and then it kind of like runs up a tree a little bit and kind of coils up, and then that's where we took the pictures of that one. So that was the other one that we found there. The first one was the first ridge nose. So we found that. It was
Mhm.
beautiful. It was awesome. All this other stuff. And then we go to another place and Justin gets separated from us. Like he goes one way, we
Okay.
go another way, we lose him. He's walking by another
Right.
freaking creek bed and this thing buzzes him from up on top of the creek bed near the foliage. So he's screaming for us and we
Okay.
don't hear him. He takes a bunch of pictures and then he goes to try to find us. He finds us, brings us back to the same place. We don't see it. We go into the creek bed and it's on the other side of the creek when we find it again. So,
Oh,
yeah.
geez.
Oh, yeah. And it did the same
Wow.
thing. We're walking, and as you're walking, you just hear, and then it was right there.
Right.
It was awesome. That's a good
That's
thing about
cool.
hunting.
That's
It's a
cool.
good thing about herping rattlesnakes. They let you know when you're close. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
the problem is
No
that
doubt.
everything in that area has somehow evolved to mimic a rattlesnake. So the weeds brushing against each other sound like a goddamn rattlesnake. All the bugs in the area sound like rattlesnakes. So you're walking and then you're constantly stopping, going like this for the first day and a half
Right.
until you're like, nope, nope, nope. That one sounded different. So yeah.
Right. Gotcha. That's cool.
Doesn't help that we're not.
Yeah,
You're not. You're not going for Western Diamondbacks. I mean, we saw Western
no.
Diamondbacks in Mojave's, the big rattlesnakes, but like you're going for the little guys. So like the buzz is very faint and small until you're right up on them. So yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, I was jealous of that because that's a species that I definitely want to see at some point. But
Rob was all
talking
about
to
them.
Rob, he's like, "Oh yeah, we'll definitely." Yeah, that's like that was his pinnacle, man. That's
those
the
are
one
those are
really
the two he
wanted.
wanted, and we got them, which is cool because then like the next time we can focus on some other stuff. I wanted to do sidewinders, but it looks like we couldn't really get to. They were a little bit further away that you had to go to, so it wasn't really conducive. But next time we'll spend some time on those things. So it's cool when you think about that kind of stuff. It was good to get out. It was good to get in the back of the car before dawn, thriving off of gas station burritos and Diet Dr. Pepper. And then I found out Justin has a horrible addiction to Diet Dr. Pepper, or he calls it Sweet Lady DDP.
Yeah, I know.
Need that sweet lady DDP. It's like, whoa, buddy. So we may need to have an intervention for him at some point. So
shit, that's a good one.
But no, it was but it's good because then like the end of the day is when all of a sudden everything you feel everything, all the aches, the sores, the pains and stuff like that. But you found a rich nose rattlesnake. So holy shit, everything's awesome.
Yeah, I think a goal for me for U.S. herping would be to find as many species of rattlesnake as I can in the wild. That would be
well, and that was the thing about going to Bob Ashley's place is he's showing us rattlesnake species never heard of, never seen before, never knew existed. And some of them he's like, oh yeah, these are the small like dwarf species that's just over the border in Mexico. That he's like, I'm pretty sure I'm the only guy in the U.S. or only facility in the U.S. who's working with them. And we're like, they were gorgeous. So it's insane. Again, if I had the balls, I'd do rattlesnakes. They're awesome animals.
Yeah. How was that place? How was Bob's place?
Gorgeous.
Cool.
His place was gorgeous. He had the stuff on his collection, his museum thing was awesome. It was full of nothing but nerdy reptile crap and art this, and then also the gorgeous animals that he had on display. But I mean, he had a whole display case of like the venom kits of what happens when you get bit, but then he had like shells and eggs and artwork of all the reptile people, like little clay figures of like Tom Crutchfield and Kevin McCurley and stuff like that. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, so what I have to do is commission someone to make little clay figurines of me and you and mail them to Bob Ashley and hope that he puts them in the display case. So, but they were, all his setups were gorgeous. And then his behind the scenes stuff, every room, because he took us through all his rooms, every room had a ton of really cool different animals. And I mean, he was moving pretty quick because I don't think he had much time, but I mean, he was kind of also in a transition. He says he was getting rid of a lot of animals, but he was bringing some more in. He was doing some other stuff, but he had a ton of rattlesnakes, a ton of them. I bet you almost every species you can think of were in there. It was awesome.
That would be cool. That would be cool to see for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
So do you like Texas better or do you like Arizona better? Or you can't compare? It's not the same?
I can't compare. Well, I do enjoy the not having to get out and walk a cut because, I mean, there's that. But then also, like...
That is kind of annoying after a while.
It is. But when you're road cruising behind Justin, whatever you
Yeah.
see, he's already seen for 5 seconds. So it's like you're like all
Yeah.
I would do is just he would yell and then I'd lean my head out the window and shine my lamp at whatever it is he saw. So I guess we didn't have that in Australia because we were also doing constant round robin stuff. So you kind of felt like you were
Yeah.
useful.
Yeah.
But plus also there was only 4 of us in that car. There was 5 of us in this one. So like I couldn't lean into the middle because Rob was there. So
Right.
I would say that walking a cut is though kind of fun in its own right. It would be more fun if we saw stuff. Like if we had gone and those cuts were jumping, then I think it wouldn't have been such a drag to go out and do the walks. You guys had more success the time you went without me of walking cuts and finding stuff.
What? Oh, yeah. The year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. When you went without me. So I would say
That's right. You weren't on the last trip, were you?
no, I wasn't. No.
No, I forgot.
We started doing
I
that thing where we have to keep NPR alive and we can't go on the same trip again.
Yes.
So
That's
yeah,
right.
the plane crashes,
Unless it's
NPR
to
dies.
Australia.
So, yeah. Unless it's to Australia, then we'll take that, 30 more years. Are you insane?
Thanks, Carly.
In 30 years, Eric will be
years.
80. Like it's
I will. Holy shit. If I'm still doing this when I'm 80, man, wow. Holy hell.
Everybody be senile. No one's gonna believe us.
I
when
do
we
think
talk
about that.
things.
Like
How
what?
do we end it?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's been such a. We talked about this before. It's like such a part of our lives doing the podcast. It's hard
It would feel weird. It would feel really weird to not.
It would
have
feel
it.
weird not to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would just feel strange, like.
And
we'd probably do our private podcast. All right,
probably we'd have to.
talk.
Yeah, forget you people. Yeah, we just wouldn't air it. But it's like you think about it.
I swear,
like,
Owen and me are going to be like the cranky Muppets in the top of the balcony.
That's what that's what we'll do. We'll just take other people's podcasts and comment on them. It's we'll just show their podcast and then we'll just yell about it. I can't wait till we get to that point in our career. But it's
back in my day, we didn't even have microphones.
Right. Just fall asleep halfway through. Yeah. But
well, I do that now, but
yeah, I know. But it's and I've definitely thought about this. I mean, we always talk about how it feels kind of weird over the break when we don't have anything.
Yeah.
And it also would feel odd to just not be plugged in. But I would say that it would be very odd to do it without you or anything like that. So it'd be one of those things where it's like if you bailed, like I'm not about to recast you. Like it would just be one of those things where I'm like, and I'm going to, and it would be really like imagine trying to do like you think about those like late night hosts where it's like, man, Johnny Carson should just call it in or like, and they never do, and you're like, why? This is why. It's like it's so. What do you do after?
Yeah. Yeah. I
I
guess
the herpetological podcast and destroy them from the inside out.
You're gonna go in there.
Yeah,
I like colubrids.
Yeah, I like colubrids. Not Baird's.
Dustin and yeah,
never,
Scarlett,
never.
Appreciate that. Updates on Carver Fest? No, not yet.
Nope.
We were talking about. I know everybody's like chomping at the bit for Carver Fest.
Dear God.
Are the interns
gonna no?
Well,
no.
We have sort of structured it in a way that, if you think about it, Lucas is a lot like I am, and Riley is a lot like you are. You know what I mean? Like you kind of have the same animal interests, and going to be the cranky Muppet.
Yes. Yeah,
a little bit. You know what I mean? Like they're the 2.0
I would
version.
I would agree. There would. But I don't think that's the thing is I don't think there would be some kind of passing of the torch. If they wanted to start something after we bailed, more power to them. But I think it would be difficult for them to step into NPR. My thing is that I don't want us to walk away and then a couple years later have somebody come over and be like, hey, I want to start NPR again, and then try to take it and run with that football. Because it's almost like... No, I think NPR is you and me. And I think if that changes, NPR should just go. So
Yeah, I feel that way. Yeah, 100%, because it's kind of like music, right? You know, you have a band, there's a certain chemistry that happens with certain bandmates. And even though you might have another bandmate that comes along that's just as good, can play the same music, you know, whatever, or just as, or maybe even more talented, but the chemistry is quite not right. And it doesn't quite work. I mean, it's not that it's bad, but it's something different. So like, why are you going to try to make something different? You know, I
we're
guess if
trying
it
to
ended
avoid
in like,
we're trying to avoid becoming AC/DC with Axl Rose. Okay, like we need to understand is like
yes,
eventually there's nobody left from AC/DC. Like it's all
yeah,
right. Well, Angus is there. Everybody else is gone. Like
yes.
it's not
I don't
really
know who the other
AC/DC
ones
anymore.
are.
Yeah, who are these
No,
people?
it's not.
Yeah. So
Yes,
you
exactly.
gotta we avoid that. So
Well,
you
even
gotta know
Guns N'
when to call
Roses,
it.
that's a perfect example.
There you
You know,
go.
like their
Yeah.
first album,
Mm.
that was Guns N' Roses to me. And then they had like, then there's a piano player and a this and a that. And you're like, what the hell happened?
Oh,
What's
what's
going on here?
happening?
You're the bad boys of rock and roll. And now you're like,
Not
you know,
anymore.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't see us stopping anytime soon, but you know, I don't know. Sometimes I think about that, like, what would I be doing if I wasn't doing that? And good
What would
Lord,
we
we
do on
added
Thursdays?
podcasts to the network
Yeah.
now, you know. Yeah, it would be
Yeah.
like Zeppelin without Plan Page, 100%, you know, or the Beatles without John and Paul, you know. It's like,
Would just be
yeah,
just be
Ringo and
weird.
George are good, but
Yeah, but
but I don't want to
so
hold their hand. What the hell?
I don't know what's going on with that. Yeah. Um, so yeah, well, but that's pretty far down the road. We'll see how it goes. I
Yeah,
have several music
yeah.
references. Thank you very much. None of them are correct, but
Yeah, when he has a good one, I give him
you
a
have to
pound
reward me. I
right
have to get
there.
get a sticker.
Yes,
So
yes. Was there ever a better rock and roll band than Led Zeppelin? I mean, come on, man.
I mean, I like
That's probably what
AC/DC.
I would do.
Oh.
I would probably start a music podcast if I've
Could
thought
not
about
be
doing
part
it
of that
even
one.
without it, but you know what I mean? But yeah. Me and Keith have our own thing going, man. Every day we're sending each other TikTok videos of like these musicians. I gotta say, man, the musicians of today, these young kids, holy shit, do they tear shit up? You know, I'm like, oh, good Lord. Hey, there's some amazing stuff.
People are talented, and now you get those people in front of like cameras. So, yeah.
I'm
Think about if
curious to
all
see
this
though.
YouTube stuff was around and you were younger, you could have had your own guitar channel.
Oh yeah, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I probably would not be here.
I mean,
Right, you know.
I mean, you did rip it apart on your Facebook recently with your guitar. Though that's the one back there you were playing, right?
No, that's a Telecaster. I was
That's a
playing a
different one.
Strat on that last one. Yeah.
There's differences.
Yeah, it's yeah, there is. That's like sort of a twangier type of guitar, whereas that would be like a country guitar, right?
Uh-huh.
Tom Petty.
Okay. Tom Petty's country.
He's not country, but he sort of has like that twangy type of sound. Two sticks,
Gotcha.
dear God, people trying to figure out the drums. Yeah. But yeah, it's funny. Earlier, I think somewhere, Robert was saying about how one of his Kimberly Rocks got out. So I'll tell that story.
Jeez.
Which is kind of crazy. So the Kimberly Rocks in the Exeter cage.
Yeah.
It's one of those tall, you know,
yeah.
They're still small. But anyway, there's like the little clip that you kind of have to lock push the doors in and it locks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I clipped the clip, but the one door looked like it was shut, but it wasn't shut all the way. So I come back and I look and I think I thought I saw the three of them, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, no big deal. Shut the door and everything is good. So I noticed that when I had the dogs were in the room, they were looking over in the corner, like they would not stop looking over in that corner, man. And I'm like, I don't understand, right? So
yeah,
I didn't think nothing of it. You know, a day goes by, another day goes by, and I go to take the trash out. So I come into this room, and I have a trash can that's like underneath the desk. So I pick up the trash and put it in. So I have no idea how this happened, but when I went to take out the trash, I went out my snake room door, and you know how that goes into my driveway. So
Right.
I'm in my
Yeah.
driveway, and I come walking back in, and there on the edge of that door, the
Oh
Kimberly
no.
Rock monitor sitting right there on the threshold of that door. And I'm like,
Oh,
first of
go
all,
run inside.
how did
Oh God,
you?
run inside.
I was like, okay. And this was weird for me, man, because I'm used to doing the snake thing. And I'm thinking, like, okay, what do I have to do for the lizard thing? But it was kind of chilly. So I'm thinking, like, maybe it's
Maybe
going to be
he's
not as
cold.
fast, not it's going to be
Yeah.
pumped up, whatever. So I'm like, okay, I gotta be real careful about this, because if I miss him, he's going straight into my lawn,
And he's gone
and that is
forever.
going to be a disaster,
Yeah.
So, um, cool thing is that I kind of like scooped my hand down, and it kind of just jumped on my hand. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. So then I took him in and
Run
put him
inside,
in.
close the
Yeah.
door.
And I put him in the cage, and I'm like, okay, good. 1, 2, 3. All right, we're all good. For I cannot figure out how that monitor got to. The only thing I can think of is, like, when I was taking out the trash, it was on my shoe. Like, it jumped on my shoe from the room, and then, like, as I was walking, and then it jumped off onto I don't know, man. I
Dude,
don't know.
they're so small. It could have jumped on your like back or something like that. I mean,
Maybe.
they're. I don't know. That's insane. That's
So
nuts.
I am meticulous about
Hmm.
making sure that the everything is locked up.
Let's say
So
there was an added lock now, isn't there? Like it's one of those.
yeah, so the first cage, yeah, I had this cage, and I built this background. It was super nice. Everything was cool, really, really, really sharp. But the problem is that I guess like so Dory bought it for me for my birthday, and I've had this cage for like a long time, and I didn't know what to put in it. And then I was like, oh, well, when I get the Kimberleys, I can put the Kimberleys in it. And I guess it's like the PetSmart version of like an Exoterra, but they don't have, like, there's gaps in the top. So when they shut the doors, that you can see where, I mean, if it's a big animal that's in the cage, they're not going to get out. But you'd be surprised how well you've seen them. You've seen baby monitors
they're
before.
very
They're
small.
freaking tiny.
And they can flatten
So
themselves. So I mean, no.
yeah. So the first night I got them, I put them in this cage, and I come down to check on them at night, and of course, right, this is what they kind of do in the wild. They kind of go find a rock crevice, and they kind of like
Chill.
snuck them, sneak in there and sort of just chill out, right? So I come down, and all 3 of them are lined up along the glass, but they're like half of their tails are sticking out of the cage type of thing, and I'm like, oh my God.
Oh shit.
Like, this is not going to be good. Like, what the hell? Like, I don't know, things you don't think about as a snake keeper. And, so I had to real quick improvise. So I got like, until I got another cage, I had, the weather stripping you put around your window.
I was about to suggest that. Yeah.
That's what I did. I kind of put it along the rim and then put it in and closed it. But
smart.
Yeah. So then I was like, screw this. I'm going to get it. I'm not buying these cheap ass Exoterra things. I'm buying the real thing.
Oh, and the real ones.
And of course, then, I'm having Dory's like, oh, how come you don't have nothing in that cage? And I'm like, well, they're too small for that cage yet. And yeah.
Just chuck the skink in there. He's big and blocky. He ain't getting any anywhere. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad I got the Kims. Kims are they're doing great too.
Nice.
Yeah, really cool. When am I going to get a frilly? Yeah, well,
soon.
Soon.
He'll break down and get it soon.
No, I'd like to get. I really like, so this wall here that's over here, those white cages are going to go, and they're going to be a bank of basically that whole wall will be 4 cages.
Nice.
So it's a 10-foot high ceiling, so it's like 5 foot each cage will be, and it's going to be the Ackies, the Kimberleys, And I would like to get some other type of dwarf monitor in the one, and then I think I might make the bottom one the
Mm-hmm.
skinks, whatever.
Skinks,
But
skink.
yeah,
Yeah.
so then that whole wall would
Cool.
be like just like 4 cages type
That
of
would be
thing.
cool
So
though. Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
really, and then seeing the stuff that, to your point, what you're saying earlier with Ari, I
Mm-hmm.
would love that. See, that's sort of where
That's
I'm
the
at, right?
dream.
I want to go into
Yeah.
my snake room and not be stressed where I gotta, oh shit, I gotta clean all these cages. I gotta
Mm-hmm.
change the wood. I don't know. I guess I'm just old, man. I don't know. But
Well, no, it's a
um,
different part of it. Like, do you really want to be spending your time doing all this stuff, or do you want to be spending your time doing other things and then just enjoy your animals? And that there's nothing wrong with that. There really isn't. So,
right.
and then I think
Yeah.
we've kind of talked about this numerous times where you can keep animals and not breed them. You can just enjoy the animal itself.
That
So
is quite
why not?
enjoyable.
Oh, dude,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I enjoy the breeding aspect of it, but I enjoy the
I
keeping
do too.
aspect of it too. So
Yeah.
there's certain animals that if I never get to breed them, I'm probably okay with. Like I will never sell my Timor pythons because I haven't been able to get them to breed because I just enjoy them as a species and I enjoy seeing them and looking at them. And my big thing is that I have two younger ones in tubs right now and I hate it. But they don't
Yeah.
like cages. When Rob had them, he put them in cages and they stopped eating. So I'm trying to get them bigger and then I'm going to try to put them in cages and see what happens. So that is what I would like to do. I'm really
Yeah.
excited
He
in the next
moved them,
couple.
right?
Yeah. Yep. He
And then
moved
he
them
had to
and then
move
they
them
didn't
back.
eat
Yeah.
and he had to move them back.
Yeah.
So I'm
Sorry, you're
excited.
excited. Go ahead.
In the next couple of months, I'm gonna have the big. I'm gonna have my 8-foot cages delivered, and those are gonna be for my Argentines and then my retic. But then that means that they
Mhm.
leave the 6-footers, so I can move my blackface white lip out of where they're at into big cages where I can see them, and I'm excited for that. So
Yeah. That's
gotta
cool.
love white lips.
Yeah, when you crack that code, you're gonna be over the moon.
They're
Man.
all mine. They're all mine. Like
Yeah. I
I
don't blame you.
yeah, well, yeah. If people think I'm going to sell any Timor babies, they're insane. Like I'm at least keeping 3. Like the rest of these are, you know, I'm breeding for myself, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
mm,
100%. I love the idea of breeding and then sort of like certain, not
mhm.
saying that like you have to be a certain person to get something, but like if just so happens that our worlds cross and you're looking for X and I have X, then yeah, man, here you go.
I gave
So
away a caramel jag the other day to one of my buddy's girlfriends. She was over and he's helped me out with a ton of stuff and hooked me up with a ton of freaking collier birds and things like that. And she's like, I'm interested in this one. I'm like, cool. Put it in a deli cup. I'm like, there you go. Like it was just okay.
right.
Bye. They're like, really? I'm like, yeah, one less for me to feed, and there you
Yeah.
go. I'm like, and
Yeah.
I said something, buddy said, I'm like, the first taste is always free, and then after that, so
Yeah. Speaking of Buddy, I gotta call him. He said you gave him the citrus tiger hat albino, and
I
he
no
needs.
different buddy, wrong buddy. I talked about Buddy Buscemi said that. I
Oh,
did
oh,
give
oh, oh.
I sold
Yes.
the
Okay.
citrus tiger head albino to other buddy. Yes. So
Okay. Yeah.
yep, he
Yeah. I
was
forgot to look him
and
up.
he's like, "Where do I get a citrus tiger female?" I'm like, "Riley." And he's like, "Riley doesn't have any." Eric. And he's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah." It's like the only 2 places, buddy. Like it's
I think.
so
I think when you come down next, I need
mm.
your help sexing some snakes next time you're down
I
in
gotta come down soon
the area.
because I got an olive python for you. I got a Hobbit is still over here and he has to leave
Yes.
because the rough scale's
Yes.
coming. So Hobbit needs to go home.
He needs to go.
He needs to go.
Yes. Hobbit
And
is the
then
Brisbane.
Hobbit is the Brisbane that we took care of. And then I have a box of coffee for you back here and a book. So yeah.
Oh.
Not a lot of shit
Yeah.
here
The
for you.
snake. Ah,
Yeah.
the monitor book. Yes. Yes.
No, it's
yes,
the
yes.
hold on.
Isn't it Dragons and Monitors of Australia?
It's something like that. Hang on. Yeah, Dragons and Monitors of Western Australia.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
I have the set now.
Oh, I shouldn't have kept this with the coffee. It smells like coffee. Well, you'll.
Excellent. Even better yet. I'll be dreaming of monitors as I smell the coffee.
Yep.
Oh.
I got that for you too that I got to get to you. So yeah, I got to come down soon because I also have an olive python for you too. So.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Again, one less mouth for me to feed.
That's right.
So, and all the shit that I took to Arizona. I love this thing, by the way. Like this almost isn't coming home to you because I enjoyed the hell out of this thing in Arizona. The little phone holder.
That's cool, right?
I know, it was awesome. Like I'm like, why do you need this? And I'm like, this is great. Like, yeah. So.
Yeah, that's Did you end up using the light on the top of it, or?
No, I used the light on top of it when we were out herping because it was brighter than any other flashlight I had on me. So I was just turning that on and just shining it when Rob had us do that night hike after we all had, Mexican food. Yeah, that
Burritos.
was I used that. Yeah, I used that light to get us down and alive.
Yep. Rob's gonna pop in for you. He just texted me. So and then we'll
so stall until Rob gets here. Got it.
Yeah, he said he's gonna pop in a minute.
Cool. So,
yeah, it's weird how those things go. But
what babies are we sexing? What babies do you have? What's going on? Here?
I don't really have babies. I just want to.
Oh, they're older things. Cool.
Yes, they're like yearlings, 2 year. Those type of things.
So are we popping or probing? Because I'm not good at probing.
Probing.
I guess I'm okay at probing. Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
Well, we can pop if you want. I don't care. Whatever works.
I'll stab something. It's fine. Not my snakes.
That's what I'm working on, Earl. Exotics right there, buddy. Yes. The double het axanthic granites.
The axanthic granites.
Yes. What's up?
Hi, Rob.
What's going on, guys?
Yeah, same old shit.
Yeah,
just
11,
bullshit
10,
for the last
10 11 years. Yeah.
10 years.
The same shit. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, we were just Rob will get a kick out of this. He's a stack. He used to say this, but we were talking about how many. So I looked it up. We're at 500. This is 511 episodes, which is 1,185 total hours, which is almost the time that it takes to incubate carpet python eggs, because it would be 49 days or 7 weeks is how many you'd have to listen to us for that long. So we're trying to get to maybe like 55, 57 days of talk, and then we'll stop.
No one quit.
So then you can just play Morelia Python Radio for your baby carpets incubating, and that's how it'll go. But yeah.
Or you need to carry it through like a scrub duration, so it's got to be more like 80.
Monitor duration.
90?
Yeah.
Oh, monitors. Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah,
now we're talking. All right.
Or ELA's, 180, it's the big brand.
Yeah. And we surpassed 1 million downloads, which is crazy.
Nice.
That just blew my mind when I saw that. I was like, holy shit.
Yep.
Yeah,
But
awesome.
cool stuff. Yeah.
Very cool.
So what's up, man?
Jump in at all, or?
Nah, it's just been a new revision of Owen's contract might be needed. Is that your alias right there, Owen?
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't hire anybody to renegotiate anything. That's not why I'm wearing this tie. So
yeah, he's got a tie on and everything.
It's a fancy show, Rob. Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Thank you.
Well, just don't cry over your feet, right?
No, not right now.
I don't know what it means, but I'm just going to yell parkour.
Yeah, it's fine. It's good.
I wasn't there for the joke, but I'm running with it. Parkour.
Well, we were moved. We had to climb over and jump in between some things when we were at Bob Ashley's place, because the behind the scenes, they mean behind the scenes, and So he did it quite nimbly. The rest of us kind of just fell all over the place. So yeah.
Which was all more exciting when it was. It turned out it was the Gila Monster exhibit.
Oh, we can't barely hear you, Rob.
It was all the more exciting that it was Gila monsters, and you're like, parkouring into Gila monsters.
Yeah, venomous lizards. Let's go. So that made it even better. So
Owen wants to get a ridge-nosed rattlesnake.
I did not say I wanted one. Don't tell him that.
You said you wanted one.
I said I wanted one, but if I had the testicular, no, I don't have the testicular fortitude. But if you don't say that I'm not going to do it, Rob is like, here's an article of why that's a dumb idea, and then I have to read it, and I'll be like, yeah, okay.
Picture of a finger falling off and all.
Right. And, here's this, like, you want Blue Barons racers, you fool, and then throws that out on me, and I'm like, all right, fine. I guess not. So yeah.
So
still can't hear you.
What you said?
Yeah, I still can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Now you can.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So the headphones are doing something weird where I hear you through my phone, but you hear me through the headphones. So, anyway, I think there's a complacency with the colubrids, the rear fang colubrids, that if you actually had rattlesnakes, you'd probably take them really seriously.
Yeah, but
you got the Rob Stone approval.
No, there's a strict no venomous rule in this house, so I might get Rob approval, but I didn't get boss approval.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't give you that, man.
Nope.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's your safety net.
I gotta do it. Yeah. Well, anyway, so.
Oh man. So yeah, we just recapped and BS'd and whatnot.
Any favorite episodes, Rob, that you want to throw out?
Yeah. What's your favorite episode, Rob?
You're the show historian.
Yeah. Right. I really like the first one. Well, all the ones with Keith, but particularly that first one where it was kind of really getting to know him. I thought that was, that's really cool, especially considering the relationship we have with him now. Kind of talking to him as someone, I know of you, but I don't really, we didn't know him at that time. I thought that was super special. Owen, when you and I talked to Ron St. Pierre, I thought that was a really fun episode.
I like that one. Yeah.
Eric, when you and I talked to Tim Bailey, I thought, that was a different show. It's certainly not necessarily in the theme of the show, but that was a really fun episode.
Yeah, that was good.
Obviously, then if you go early, just Eugene was hilarious. Viewed with hindsight, there's a handful of shows that are pretty funny with Blake Bauer and with when Chuck came on. That was a really fun show that I listened to a lot. The Chuck one, obviously the Blake ones were their own masterpieces.
It's painful.
Those are good. To me, it's sort of what you're in the mood for, right? The holiday shows are always fun because, fun to be there, fun to listen to, but you have to, I know people get fussy about it. You just have to be in the right mindset. Is it what are people in the mindset to receive that sort of thing? Then it's great. And the anniversary shows have been a lot like that. I really liked the one a handful of years ago. I think it was 2018, before we were going to Australia, that we did the one that was people talking about going to Australia. I think that was before we went the first time. And to me, all those shows, so a lot of that is Nick, and obviously Nick just saying Nick things and all that. Those were all really good. And so I love making those clips because a lot of those were the very, very first episodes that happened, the first 3 or 4 episodes. So, there's a ton of great stuff there, and we're novices, we didn't know about what it was like to go to Australia and all that. And so now viewing them again now is all that much better. It's not, it doesn't detract. It's the opposite. I think we're positioned to really understand what people are saying. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like when I was reading the Children's Python book hold on. I want to mute you for a second, bro. It's like when we were reading the Children's Python book when we came back from the Northern Territory. When we came back, all those places that I was like, wait a minute, we were there. Oh, wait a minute, we were there. It kind of went full circle, So it was cool. But there we go. Okay, Rob's got it. Yeah. I totally agree. It's funny. Oh, and you have sort of the same taste as Rob.
Yeah, we do.
We decided
on
said
many
the same
things.
shows.
Yeah, on the same shows, and then also Rob and I are starting to. I'll never get to the Jamaica boa and other things like that, but we have a lot of common interest in snakes and stuff too. So,
Yes.
but yeah, definitely the same shows. Although he likes to point out the Blake Bauer show, and I wish I could forget it and purge it from the archive forever and never have it again.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, and I understand your mixed feelings on it for sure, but it's really fun, and you just have to look at it as good fun and just say, hey, look at all that you've learned, all the experience you've had over this time, and I think that's what's so cool about it. I was listening to I think Eric, maybe you had pitched me on this one, the Australian Hiker podcast that talks about some cool places, and always good to keep a finger on the pulse of all that. And they had just had their 200th episode, and obviously, and rightly so, they were very proud of that. But he kind of went into the statistics of how most podcasts, last 7 episodes, and just by getting to this point, they were in the top X percentage of podcasts based on all these statistics and whatever. And while I'm proud for them, the notion that this is what did you say, 551?
511.
511. That this is 511. So you've double and a half that,
Yeah.
And that's like a 30, 45 minute program. Whereas this is variably, an hour and a half to, 3:15 when it would run over accidentally and it'd still record.
Yeah. We've done that a couple times.
Oh God, do you remember when we'd eventually run it to a certain point where we'd be like, hey, guess what? You're done talking in 5. And we'd hear it in our earphones, and we'd have to be like, "Oh my God!" And then we'd quickly be like,
quick,
MPR," and then we just try to
MPR.com.
Right, and then sometimes we'd be on him with Nick, and we're hearing in our headphones 5, 4, and Nick's just going, and we're like, we can't stop him. So here we go, and then it would just cut out after 3 hours. So, yep.
Blog Talk would allow you, depending on what plan you had. So like Reptile Radio had this like 45-minute plan, but I was like, no, because at the time I was sort of influenced by Joe Rogan's style of podcasting. Like if you're going to have a conversation, cutting things off to me is just, I don't know. And Rob, you agree with me on this one. It's like when you're getting into the weeds in a conversation, sometimes it takes a little while to rev the engine up. And once you get it going, people are ending it and like, what are you doing, man? You just kind of like, I'm just getting into this. Like, you can't stop now. So the whole idea of making these short podcasts was just, I don't know, it just wasn't my vision of where I want an NPR to go, because as you would start to talk, Owen's experiences would come into play with the guest, and mine would come into with the guest, or, just questions that would pop up. And, I don't know. I just always loved that format. But with Blog Talk, so I got the extended version, and you would be able to do 2 hours live. And then remember, it would cut off live. So like the people would be listening live, and it would be like 2 hours. It cuts off. And it's like, and it's like, oh, I guess you'll have to go listen to the full episode over on the podcast app. And then, but once you got to that 3 hours, they're like, no, that's enough. No more.
Yeah, that's shut up.
More.
Yeah, and then we'll just end the show. Oh God.
Yeah.
Thank God we don't do that.
We were going to do the clip collection this year, and then, obviously those guys were in Arizona, and it's just been a crazy year. So, and then we were going to have people come on and, kind of chat with them and have sort of a not live episode, but, then my dad went to the hospital and so it was like, there was no time to put it together. But I don't know, man. I kind of like going it old school, I
like it.
I mean, 10 years, we come full circle. We're just old school, It's just me and you hanging out.
We should have done this on our phones. Like, just called in. Yeah. So, but no, we'll obviously coming up very soon is going to be the holiday show. And, obviously we're going to have that whole thing. and we are going to have people crash because, of course, it's the time to air your grievances and other things like that. I mean, Rob, Tiffany had a list last year, and so, I mean, there are swirlings of lists over here.
Right. Melissa's been inspired. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Dangerous is what it is. Horribly dangerous, because she'll just come in and push me off the chair and take it. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. Plus, always, Jim is going to, I mean, my brother will teach him how to get on this show is what'll end up happening. So, yeah.
It has to happen.
Noise. So, well, all righty. Anybody got anything
Rob
else?
Was pushing his unmute button.
I was waiting for it. Yeah.
No, I'll let you guys go. I mean, this has been fantastic. Congratulations on all those shows. I can't wait for the next 500 and the next 500 trips.
Yes.
500 shows. Yes. Trips. Yes. Dear God. Yes. I'm all for it. I'm already want to go again. So
100%.
It hurts. It hurts that it's been 2 years since we were in Australia, and Facebook reminds me of that. So, all righty.
Yeah.
Yes, we will definitely play Who's Going to Be the Drunkest this year. I'm thinking it's going to be Eric this year because it was me 2 years ago.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
If
I don't like it with the video.
Be,
like the last time we had just audio. Yep.
For sure.
Good.
No doubt about it. Because let me see. So the airing of grievances, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, I have it right here. And then airing of grievances. We do the year in review, and what we hope for going into 2022, and the drinking game, and various people coming by and stopping by. And,
obviously, people are going to come and they're going to come say hi. They're going to air their grievances. We have to talk to them for a little bit. Somebody's going to hijack the show, and we'll be fine.
Yeah. So good time. So this will be carpets and cocktails, not carpets and coffee.
Listen, I tried to I did carpets and coffee last week with Lucas. And
you did pretty good. You did pretty
I
good.
Tried so hard. I'm like, when are you like? I can't drink coffee at 5 p.m. Like, it's like, listen. I know Eric can drink a pot of black coffee at 2 a.m. and then go sleep for 8 hours. I can't.
That's true.
It's like, so I'm like, I'm just gonna have
me to sleep.
I'm just gonna have this hard cider, and hopefully we get a cider sponsor. And Lucas is like, I'm drinking tea, and I'm like, we've already gone off the rails. Then there's no coffee involved.
What have you done?
Yeah, I already ruined it. Show's already broken. So
that's right. All right. Well, I guess we can wrap it up. Thank you everybody for listening show, and hopefully we can bring you another 10 years. And I think it's humbling sometimes to me of like how much we influence things, and I hope we influence it for the better, so that's why I just try to bring the best that we can and the best content, and try to put it out there, and try to stay out of the drama, and try to support the reptile community as best we can. And that's sort of what we've always been about, and we'll keep doing it. And
it's definitely this has definitely been our labor of love. It's not anything like you and I aren't getting rich off the show or anything like that. And the whole point is just we've said it numerous times. You and I aren't experts, but we enjoy talking to the people that we feel should get their voices out there in the reptile community. And if it helps even one or two people kind of find their spot in reptiles, and like you said, NPR must always be neutral. Like we can't keep waiting. We don't want to wade into the drama. We want you guys to come here, listen, feel good, and enjoy yourselves, and then maybe give a different kind of animal a chance, or a different, or try to keep your own animals a little bit differently based off of what somebody else said, and just enjoy, this hobby and what we love, because there's a lot of bad parts to it and a lot of crappy parts to it. And we just try to bring some of the good stuff to the light. So it's been a very fun 10 years, a very fast 10 years, to be honest with you. And I am looking forward to the next 10. But By this time, I will be 45, which is weird. So,
10 years from now?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I'll be...
Yeah, buddy.
58.
Yeah. Some of us will be close to... Some of us will be close to Medicare. Oh, God. Oh God, I really hope I'm not like 45 with a kid. Like it's like
I think
when they play this in the 20-year episode, and I'm like, I really hope I'm not 45 with a kid. Like it's
by the time for the 10th year anniversary, I promise I will have a beard as big as Owen's, but it'll be white as snow.
Well, mine's gonna start coming in, eventually. Oh God.
Oh man. So cool. So thank you guys. Appreciate all the support we get. And we're here to just shine light onto the animals. I mean, they're cool animals and there's a lot of cool people. And I think that's probably my favorite thing about NPR is just being introduced to some amazing people in this hobby. And I hope to meet some more amazing people going forward. So we'll keep the episodes coming, and stay tuned for Carpet Fest. I'm starting to get the view of the calendar contest winners to send me the pics. So as soon as I get that all together, I will start putting it together. And as soon as we have it available, I think we're going to sell it off the website. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be able to do that. So that'll be
cool.
Super easy, not Facebook, all that bullshit. So you just go right to MoreliaPythonRadio.com. And if you want to contact us, info@MoreliaPythonRadio.com. If you're listening to this on podcast, and sometimes every once in a while, Owen and I will do some live streams over on our on Morelia Python Radio Network YouTube channel. So if you haven't subscribed, we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. So if we can get there, I think we're at like 597, which is weird because my EB Morelia channel, which I haven't uploaded anything in forever, has went to 1,800 like that. I'm like, man, I should have just used that channel and just changed the name.
Just change the name.
What are you gonna do? So if you're not a subscriber, go on over there. All the podcasts will go over there. And to throw this out there, that the Australian Herpetological Podcast guys, Luke and Jason, they did a live stream, but for whatever reason, it didn't save to the StreamYard thing, so I couldn't upload it in a podcast format. So it was pretty cool. They did a great show over there. So if you want to check it out, it's over on the YouTube channel. So I don't know what happened there. I'm trying to figure that out. But anyway, they did do a show this week, and it's over on the YouTube channel. So please go over there, check it out, and subscribe. That's all I got. We got Teespring, we got Patreon, we got I don't know.
Go join the Patreon.
We got things.
We got the stuff and things. Go join the Patreon. You can get onto our monthly live stream. That is me, Eric, Lucas, and Riley answering whatever questions you want. Teespring store where you can get cool swag like this one here that I'm wearing, as well as all the other stuff. What's up with Puget Sound Pythons coming in at like the last minute? Like, what the Jesus Christ? It's like,
thanks, guys.
Yep. What we'll say is, thanks everybody for listening for 10 years worth of listening. And we'll catch everybody back here next week for some more Morelia Python Radio. Good night.